We are recording. You did not hello
Oh,
too quickly.
hello. Welcome to the Microsoft 365 Pulse. Um, this is our crew today, Tamara and Tom and myself. So we're excited to show you the things that are in development, the things that are rolling out, and the things that have launched. We have nothing that is canceled this week. So we are a cancel-free week this week. So that means they're going to probably cancel something big next week, but you never know. So we'll go ahead and get started. And Tamara, why don't you tell us if there's anything in development that strikes your fancy that you would like to share with the group?
Sure. There were a couple things. One was meeting options categorization. So Microsoft is introducing grouping within meeting options to improve organizers and co-organizers' ease of understanding selections. I think that's going to be great. It's coming out in January. Again, it's just a small thing, but when you're new to something, it's certainly going to make your life a lot easier.
It's going to be a delight to be able to categorize meetings. It's almost as exciting as coloring my folders.
I think this is just categorizing the meeting options,
Oh,
Yeah,
not
like
categorizing
just
your
so instead of having
meetings.
them all flared out all over the bit, and I don't know whether co-organizers can do this, that, or the other thing, I think they're going
that's
to group them
actually
together.
really helpful too. Really helpful too. Okay. I
Yeah, and then in
misunderstood.
the admin center, the adoption score AI assistance category. So Microsoft is introducing a new people experience category in the adoption score in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. The new category helps organizations understand the adoption of Microsoft Copilot features in Microsoft 365, which I think is going to be very important because it is going to be expensive. And I think it's going to be one of those things that are on the budget line pretty much every year. Are we getting enough bang for our buck to justify this cost? So I
Yeah,
think
and it's
Microsoft was really smart for putting this in there.
Yeah, it's great because you don't need any special licensing for it. So
No.
even though it's coming through Insights and stuff like that, you don't need any Viva licensing. And it's going to show you your readiness and your preparedness. And so even if you do want to go and deploy Copilot, you're still going to be starting here at this point and saying, how ready are we? And then once we're ready and we're there, how effective are we at using it and different things like that? Because there will be a lot of things you have to learn to use Copilot effectively. It is very easy and it is very helpful, but there's an art to it still that I think people will be developing over time, building muscles to do it. That's cool. I only had one thing other than that. Actually, I had two things other than that, but I'll do one of them and then let Tom do the other because I think he's going to have it too. But Microsoft Teams, new meeting option and meeting policy turn off copying or forwarding of the meeting chat. So if you don't want people to copy it, you don't want people to forward it, that's going to be a policy that you can set. That is a Teams premium feature. So it's a premium activity. So you get a premium license to do something like that. So that is coming um, in development. That's something that they're working on. So I will pass it to Tom and see if he picks up the one that I didn't. And otherwise, we'll pass it back to Tamara and see if she has anything else left in development.
Sounds good. Following along with the Microsoft Teams and the premium offerings here, we have intelligent meeting recap for transcript only meetings. This basically supports meetings with only transcript enabled and without recording enabled. That way it'll go and do all the intelligent recaps and the whole bit without having to have the actual recording there. Again, this is premium, so unless you're paying the big bucks for the extra features in Teams, you're not going to see this one. The other one, which is also premium, intelligent meeting recap for scheduled channel meetings. So they're basically also pushing this out to channel meetings so users can easily browse meeting recordings by speaker and topics, as well as access AI generated meeting notes, AI generated tasks, and name mentions. So again, those are both premium related. There's a few other things that, I mean, Teams seemingly got quite a bit of love this time. There's audio flyout and settings in Teams meetings. So if you're actually in your Teams meeting and you want to make changes to audio and video settings, you don't have to dig down into menu options and stuff. They're going to have little flyouts where you can easily get to those and make the changes that you want to make. And then finally, using the new Teams, which is not Teams Premium. God, we got Teams Classic, Teams Premium, new Teams, got all kinds of teams here. Control your mic state during meetings from Windows taskbar available in the new Teams on Windows. So basically, when you're using this new Teams experience and you've got your little mic icon in your Windows taskbar at the bottom of your screen, it's going to recognize if you click that, and it's going to mute your new Teams based on you clicking that icon. So instead of muting, just Windows, but everything else is fair game, you're going to be able to mute directly from there, which is nice. It gives you one more quick way to be able to mute things or unmute things, depending on how you receive things. So that pretty much takes me through the ones that I wanted to mention in development.
Me too. You too. And Tamara, is there anything else for you?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Well, then we're going to go to rolling out, and I'm going to just take my one highlight that I really like this week and then pass it to the team. The reason I like this is because it was a blocker. It was something that someone who owns something said, if this doesn't work, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this other tool. So I'm excited about this one. And this is Microsoft Teams hide attendees' names in a webinar, and that's a premium feature. So if I'm doing a webinar and I don't want others to see who's in the webinar with them, I now have the ability to do that. So organizers can hide the names of attendees from other attendees, and then only organizers and presenters are able to see it. This is great. This allows me to not have to do a live event if I really don't need a live event, but I want to do a webinar and I don't want people. A lot of the times you don't want people because you don't want them to try to contact or anything like that. So it's just that was a blocker for different groups that I had worked with, and so I'm happy to see that blocker is no longer there. So that was my highlight of the week. I thought that was great. And then I'll pass it to Tom.
Yes. Microsoft Teams, forward messages in Teams chat. I'm really looking forward to getting this one in our tenant. And this allows you to forward messages quickly from one chat to another using the right-click menu. You can add additional content, much like you do a reply to a message in a chat. You're going to be able to do that same type of thing, but instead of just, replying in the same chat that you're in, you can actually copy that message into a different chat and pick that up. I think that's great for if you've got good information going on that you need to just ping this one thing over to the other person so they can see it and then possibly make a task of it themselves so they can do whatever they need to do. But being able to do this forwarding messages in one-on-one chats and group chats, I think is a really cool idea. Tamara, what you got?
Well, I've got a little bit of pain because I really wish with that forwarding messages in Teams chats, what's interesting is if you have a one-on-one chat and you want to add a third person to that chat, you cannot choose to allow them to see the previous chats. Those chats just go away.
Well, that's not good.
No. So I would like to see that incorporated into this forward chats.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Start a new chat from this. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Because I'd like them to see what else was going on.
Right.
So Microsoft Teams file app updated to OneDrive app experience in Teams. That is a lot of words for a description or a title of a feature. So the Files app accessed from the left side of the Teams desktop client will be updated with the OneDrive app experience, bringing performance improvements, more views, and the latest features of OneDrive to both classic and new teams. And that is rolling out for everybody. So that's good news.
Very awesome. Very awesome.
The other one that I will mention.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is Microsoft Teams, custom backgrounds for announcement posts in channels, premium. So this actually has two aspects of it, premium on one, playing for the other. But Teams users will be able to create engaging custom backgrounds for channel announcements in just a few clicks. If you happen to have Team Premium, then the users are going to have access to DALL-E, which is a text-to-image generator. So you can type in generate an image for a employee resource group focused on blah, 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 military, let's say. And it's going to come up with an image that it generates based on that text description that would have potentially, some sort of a background image that is military related, probably with military individuals, surrounding the area. So I think that is really cool. It sounds like they're going to give you some ability to do those custom backgrounds rather than just, you got a block of color and that's it. But if you've got that premium, I think the ability to go in and actually use some of the whole generative AI processes to get those custom images based on descriptions will really narrow down and focus what it is those pictures are going to show up on and as in your announcements.
It's interesting to me because this one, maybe not in this exact form, has been rolling out a while. Like they came to announcements a while ago where you could put backgrounds and different things like that, and then it went away. And now
I was going to say
back.
I still don't have it.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things that they rolled out, and they've done that before. Sometimes that's the whole purpose of rolling out. You roll it out, and then as you run into struggles, issues, whatever, then you can kind of recall it and then fix it. And so I think that's what happened a lot with this feature. It's going to be like, oh, it's back again. So I'm excited to see that. It looks like they've made some adjustments to it. I had one more, which was the Teams workflows and chat. So users will be able to configure workflows within their team chats. That's only available in the new Microsoft Teams experience. So it'll be interesting to see what that's like, but workflows that you can kick off from that. And that's all I had. I don't know if Tamara, if you have anything else, and if not,
Nope.
you can start us. Why don't you start us with launched?
Sure, I've got one. New Outlook for Windows and web, preserve declined meetings. So a new calendar setting in Outlook on the web and the new Outlook for Windows will enable users to choose if they want their declined meetings to be removed or kept on their calendar. Declined events will not show up as tentative nor block your free busy when other people try to look at what you have going on in your calendar.
Can you see my head spinning? I'm thinking if I will like this or if this will clutter me.
I think you're going to like it because there's so much stuff that you need to be aware of that you don't necessarily need to attend. And this is going to make it easy to go back to the chat and any documents shared within the meeting.
Oh, that's a good point. Like my thing is when I decline the meetings,
it doesn't exist for you anymore.
Well, yeah, it doesn't exist for me. And then I'm like, oh, something else canceled. So now I can go to it. Oh, crap. Who's in it? So they can invite me to it.
That is exactly the use case that I ran into the other day. I had a Microsoft meeting. I think it was on Thursday or Friday. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to go to this. And at the last minute, it's like, nah, really don't want to. I just want to work. And so I'm like, okay, fine. And all of a sudden, like 2 minutes before the top of some hour, I'm getting messages from our team stand-up. And I'm like, we didn't have a team stand-up scheduled today. It's like, no, we did. You just declined it when you accepted the Microsoft meeting. So the fact that I can leave that on there and go, oh, I do have another meeting if I choose not to go to this first one. Yeah. I think that's where I'm going to get my value from. So,
the one I like is Microsoft Loop, is GA. So Microsoft Loop has gone into general availability, and it combines the canvas that has portable components and you can cut and paste. I converted my weekly status report from OneNote to Loop, and I'm a happy girl. It's much nicer. It just makes it easy. If I forget something, by the time I send it and when they read it, I can add it pretty quick. And it's been nice. The whole experience has been nice. I even got a comment that it looks pretty. So I like that. So I think there's a lot of components for Loop. I think we're gonna see a lot more of Loop.
Yeah.
a lot. It's just going to come. They're just some really powerful. It's like the powerful kid that's kind of like building his muscles in the background and nobody knows he's there. And then he's going to come in and be all beefed up and take over. That's how I feel about Loop. It'll probably get renamed 10 times before it does.
Well, that's true, but hey.
That's what I see there. So that's all I have. So Tom, do you have things for launched?
Just one that I'll mention, dictation support in the new Outlook for Windows and the web. This is something that I think I wrote a tip on this like a long time ago, because when I'm reading I actually went out and grabbed a web page that talked about this, and it said, Outlook, new Outlook, Outlook on the browser. I'm like, oh, great. It's like Outlook Classic. I'm like, what? This was an Outlook. Oh, yeah, it was an Outlook Classic. I just never used it because it didn't seem to work really well for me. But now it's pretty much across the board, and it sounds like it's also available in Mac. I don't know that that's new, but it looks like now across the board, if you want to be able to dictate an email, the only thing you have to remember is you can go, hi, I'm doing a demo of such and such. This is a really cool feature. Wow, I'm really liking this. It's one humongous run-on sentence because you have to go, hey, I'm demoing this feature, period. I'm really liking this a lot, comma, and I think I will really enjoy this, period. So you kind of have to dictate your punctuation, any emojis you want to put in, things like that. And it does a good job of that. Just realize that it's not going to be like transcription, where it can sit there and say, oh, I'm listening to the person. I know where to put periods in. I know where to capitalize, know where to start a new sentence. It doesn't seem to have that level of access. But if you're willing to do that extra step for how you want it to look, it should work really well for you. Even if not, you can get all the run-on sentences and then you can go clean it up afterwards. So completely up to you.
Awesome. Well, I don't have anything else in launch. Do you, Tamara?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. A pretty quiet week for everyone, but we will be back next week with updates on what is coming to Microsoft 365. So until then, happy Microsofting. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. All right, my computer's working real slow. I'm trying to stop the recording.
Yeah, you're getting a little laggy with your image.
And now we're clear.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, my computer.